Believe it or not, this started life as a fake Lamborghini kit car shell that we bought out of a barn off Facebook Marketplace. It changed hands through 7 different owners before we got our hands on it. And over the past 5 months, we've transformed this thing into this insane one-of-a-kind drift car. In the last video, we took the car to Sequoia Media and installed this insane livery. And honestly, it's completely elevated the car to a whole new level. But we still have an insane amount of work to do on this car, and we have about 5 days before we'll be drifting this thing on the track. Honestly, just saying those words makes me hella nervous. Now, the eagle-eye viewer will notice that we have the Workmeister M1 wheels all round now. So the one problem with the wheels I was trying to solve was getting clearance for the front wheels and which tire size to run. So originally on this side, I did try the 235/40/18 tire size, and as you can see, it's got quite a big sidewall here. So what we decided to do was go down to the 225/40 on this side and look at the difference that it makes. It gives us so much more clearance everywhere. It means I can actually lower the car at the front here as well, which I'm very excited to do. But we have brand new tires all round on the car now, and that is massive thanks to the team at Faulkner Wheels and Tires here in Melbourne. These guys have actually come on board with our whole drift program for the 2025 season, which I'm so thankful for, because tires are a massive deal when it comes to drifting. And I literally just fitted up the wheels and tires before, and I'm so pumped. It makes me so happy to have these wheels all round. I think they're absolutely perfect for the car. We are running 265 tires on the rear, which are quite big. I actually only run 235 tires on our E36 competition car, but we can't run any smaller tires simply because the rear of this car is so huge that anything smaller just looks absolutely silly. Even the 265s are borderline too small because the stock Lamborghini Diablo size is like 315 wide. But again, massive thank you to the team at Faulkner Wheels and Tires here in Melbourne. If you need anything, hit up the team. They will help you out. The customer service is next level, and the boys there are just passionate about wheels and tires. But as good as this car looks, we have a huge amount of work left to do between now and the event. But the best thing about this video is hopefully this is the first start video for our 13B turbo motor in this car. We're aiming to start it tomorrow, and honestly, I cannot wait. Most of the car is sorted out in terms of fab work, but we do have a little bit to finish down the rear end here. I'm still so stoked on how well this rear boot lid system works. Look at that, so good. But as you can see in the back here, we still have quite a bit of work to do, and that's what I'm gonna do right now. So we have our Raceworks surge tank mounted here. The rear mount radiator is all done, but we need to mount our fuel cell. So we've actually opted for the Raceworks 37 litre fuel cell. We were gonna go with the 57 litre that we run in our rear wheel drive Evo, but we decided just because of space and the fact that we don't need 57 litres, that the 37 litre will do us just fine. So what I've done is we have some box tube down at the bottom here bolted to our fuel cell, and then I'm going to weld captive nuts inside the box tube. Then that simply just sits somewhere in here. Look at that, like a glove. With the cell being here, it means we have more than enough room for our lift pump and all of our lines down here as well. Obviously it's quite close to the exhaust, so we may have to make some kind of shield. I'll probably shift it back a little bit. That's definitely not its completely permanent spot, but I think it's going to be a good system that's going to work out for us. Once that's fitted, I can shave down a bunch of stuff in here, make it look pretty, and then we're going to paint it black. Then we have all of these parts to fit into the car. Brand new brakes, rear mounted radiator lines, seats, fittings, hoses, axles, digital dash, ECU, wiring, everything like that. But this is the most satisfying part of the build because we get to fit out the car. And piece by piece, this thing is finally going to come to fruition. We've got the dyno tune booked in for Wednesday. It is currently Friday right now. So I'm going to stop talking and we're going to get to work.
I started by grinding the areas back to bare metal where we needed to weld in reinforcements. Then I removed any unnecessary protruding pieces of metal before fitting the fuel cell and tacking in the box tube. Once that's tacked in, we remove the fuel cell and finish weld all of the reinforcements and the fuel cell mounts. While I was doing that, Warwick was tacking on our fuel rail mounts to the intake manifold before removing it and finishing all of the welding.
So it is the following day, and I got most of what I wanted to get done last night. All of our reinforcements are welded in, our fuel cells welded in, and now all I need to do is make a couple of plates just to seal these last little bits of the body up, and that is the rear done. Of course, then we need to lay paint. I'm definitely suffering from a lack of sleep. We were here till well after midnight last night, and then we were here straight away again at 7 a.m. this morning, but I don't care because I'm really excited because today, hopefully, is the day we get to hear this thing for the first time, and my man, Logan, has returned. returned.
Hello, hello.
What's going on? Good to have you back.
I'm already cooking in here. It's going to be a hot day.
Yes.
But we're aimed at a bit of motivation.
Wow, look at all of this frickin' racework stuff.
There was probably twice as much on the ground here before. I've just got nuts before racework shut for the day so we can work out so there's no hold-ups.
Yes, yeah, we're trying to
just going through
figure out
everything up.
Yeah, see what we're missing, or if anything, because the order was huge. This is probably half of the fittings. Yes.
Those. And there's more.
Jeez,
Yeah.
It's crazy. So this is our surge tank. Logan is currently sorting all the fittings for that out at the moment. So the reason I got Logan back was because I was feeling pretty overwhelmed with how many fittings there were. It's just crazy. But this man just knows them like the back of his hand. So I conned him into coming again today. We're gonna get this thing running. It doesn't really look like it should run.
We've gone backwards at the point. Since I left last,
yes.
Nearly gone backwards. There's less stuff on the motor.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's because everything was dummy fit. Now we've pulled it off to fit it properly. All the gaskets for the final time, bolted up how it needs to be bolted up. Look at this gorgeous Raceworks fuel pressure regulator. This thing is getting all of the goodies. Honestly, I'm like a freaking kid on Christmas Day at the moment. It's so good.
How good is it seeing it all come together though, man? Like,
yeah.
This is the best time.
But I'll show you guys what has done on our intake manifold. So we welded on these two mounts here. So these hold our injector rail in. We've got our nice 1000cc Raceworks injectors. Now these have special adapters on either end so that we can fit these into our RX-8 intake manifold and use the stock RX-8 fuel rail without an issue. We welded on two vacuum ports. These are our reference for our wastegate and for our map sensor in our ECU. He also welded on a wee mount here for our throttle cable. So now we can clean our beautiful custom intake manifold up and install it on the motor for the final time. So everything is currently happening here. It's absolutely crazy. Let's freaking go. I just want to hear that rotary noise purring, baby.
While it does feel like we're miles off being able to start the car for the first time, it's important just to take it one job at a time, and it felt so good getting the first braided Raceworks lines made up for the car, starting with the turbo oil feed.
One line done, between 10 and 20 more to go.
So while Logan is battling with the AN lines up the front, I am figuring out our surge tank setup. So this time we're running a Raceworks surge tank that has two fuel pumps. This is a pretty awesome setup. So we have two E85 compatible EFP 500 pumps. That's gonna flow one crap load of fuel to our rotary motor, but the hangers are what's really cool. So these hangers replace the Bosch 044 style pumps, and that means you can use these small style pumps. So basically this goes in here and you end up with something that looks like this. Pretty awesome. It slides in, bolt it all up, and then you've got your posts for negative and positive, and you also have your AN fitting for the fuel output. So pretty darn cool. Just another rad wee product that Raceworks make, and it's just gonna look super tidy as well.
Time, guys, it's time. Can I finally go in there for good?
So what is it?
This is the engine loom. This is it.
And where's it going?
Back into the E36 wide-bodied car.
For the final time.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Put it in the hole.
Put it in the hole. No lube, we're going in dry. There we are.
Boom. See? We put the hole in there on purpose.
Yep.
That's so satisfying. And just like that, our surge tank is done, and Logan has already started doing all the lines in the back here because he's an absolute weapon. So he's got the line going from the surge tank to our fuel cell, and now he's starting to do the rest of the lines there. And while he's doing that, I get to mount our manifolds for the final time. So as you can see here, the manifolds are off. We've taken all the tape off the motor because we'd blocked off all the ports so we didn't get any junk into the motor. I've started putting gaskets on, and it's time to get our beautiful turbo manifold that Bailey made us and slot it onto the motor. One-handed.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. That's how good Bailey made that. It's so easy to install. This setup is sick, huh?
Come up good.
Yeah.
Come up real good.
I wonder what it's going to sound like. That's the main question.
Let's hear what you think it's going to sound like.
I'm so bad. I'm pretty sure I sounded like that, like bap bap ring ding. That song that was real popular.
Crazy Frog.
There we go.
What a song.
Insert right here because I'm pretty sure I sounded exactly like that.
So while Logan continued his wiring wizardry throughout the car, fitting everything so we could start it for the first time, Dan was outside doing the mundane job of sanding the wing, while I was inside fitting our turbo and intake manifold for the final time.
All right, Michael. We're on the last of the plugs for the body here.
Yes.
Well, not even the body, the engine.
The intake manifold is on, the turbo manifold is on, properly mounted for the final time. Injectors are in. Yeah. Man, we're making some freaking crazy progress. So these are all of the fuel lines done. So technically right now, we could actually turn the motor over. We're gonna put some oil in it, of course. Yep, it's good. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Turbo going on for the final time, I hope. By the way, we are using the Max Speeding Rod's 44mm wastegate. The link is in the description. These are actually rad wastegates. I really like them. We're using the same one on the rear-wheel drive Evo, although that one is 38mm. Never had an issue with them, comes with all the fittings, super cheap, and yeah, they seem to work really well. So grab yours, links in the description, but let's put the turbo on. Also, I just like how plain they are, which is always nice. So we have absolutely killed it today, but obviously we're not done yet. We probably have another 6 hours in the shop. But the amount of progress we have made is absolutely crazy. Turbo's on, turbo manifold's on, intake's on. But the biggest part of all is all of the fuel lines are done. Obviously, the fuel rig is just chilling here right now. We've still got to mount it, but we're gonna make sure everything actually works in the car before we start properly mounting everything, tidying it all up, and making sure it's all good. I don't know if I showed you guys, but we have 2 oil coolers, one on either corner here. So they're all plumbed up. We have all the lines going all the way to the back for our fuel lines. So these are the feeds and the returns coming all the way up here. So that's fed, it's all powered. Logan has his laptop sitting here. So we're about to do some tests and crank the motor. But obviously we need to throw some oil in this thing. Otherwise it's not gonna last very long. How are the shapes?
Delicious.
Yeah, they're always good.
This is pretty much what I do now.
As soon as you start eating them, you just can't stop. It's crazy. Look how hard this dude's been working. It's absolutely crazy. I feel bad, but at the same time...
I get shit done.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
Even now, I'm building another line while you guys do this.
Oh, nice. What line is that?
Turbo drone, just so you've got it ready.
Okay, cool. You guys need to go and subscribe to Logan's channel. His builds are awesome. He's an awesome dude, and he's obviously helping me out a lot, so help him out. Subscribe to his channel, but... Alright, the moment has arrived. We get to crank this thing for the first time. It's not going to start right now, but we have done our preliminary checks, which basically means we've made sure that there is fuel pressure. We have power everywhere that we need it.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, we're good to go.
Lovely.
We're going to have an oil leak now, but we want that just through the oil metering pump.
Yes, so I don't have the plate on the side here. This is where the plate would go, so block off the oil metering pump, but we actually want to make sure it's building oil pressure, doing everything it needs to do, and then we can deal with that afterwards. The oil send for the turbo is right here. We've actually got it routing back into basically the motor instead of going to the turbo because we haven't put the oil return into the sump yet for the turbo. That's fine because we don't necessarily need that right now. Dan, you can do the honors since you've been doing the mundane sanding all day.
Ready?
That sounds healthy.
I'm not even going to get the timing light out. I'm just going to wing it and hope that for the best here.
Logan is an absolute wizard. Like watching him do this stuff is crazy. But all right, we're doing first start. I'm so nervous right now. I don't know what it is about rotaries.
I think it's going to start.
You don't think it is?
I think my timing's off.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that by guess, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. First start, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, first start obviously didn't work because we think we had the timing a little bit off. If this doesn't work now, we will get the timing light out and set it properly, which is how you should do it. We are too excited and tired, so we're just gonna give it another crack.
All the way in the car.
So he's changed the timing. All right, Dan, once again. The turbo is spooling on crank.
All right.
Close.
We're going again.
It's close.
I'll wait for you to tell me that off.
Yeah.
Yes! Is that good? It sounds like it's running funky.
It's the timing's doing whatever it wants at the moment.
Oh, yep.
We're at a point where it's okay.
All right, so should we time it? So after a couple of adjustments, we think we're ready to start it again and have it idling properly. Time to crank it, and I get to push the button this time. It's starting to come more alive as well, but we don't want to run it for too long because we have no water in this thing whatsoever. But that's sick.
Very smoky.
So good. I love it. That turbo, by the way, just wants to spool like immediately.
That'll burn your eyes.
It smells nice.
Smells nice.
Yeah.
And there's probably a bit too much oil in the fuel.
Look, the turbo's still spooling. Look at this. Ready? Still going? Look at him. He loves it.
Funny because the turbo pumping to nowhere.
So happy. Dan, well done. Everyone, well done.
Beautiful. Good work, boys.
That's amazing. So it runs, so now we can move forward with the whole build and start installing stuff. I'm already G'd up.
You're staying here till midnight tonight.
So it runs. It's not perfect by any means, but the whole point was to get it running because we're not tuners, so we'll get someone in to help us actually dial it in. We wanted to get it running so that I can move forward with the final fit out of the car, and it's all thanks to you. The fact that we came here this morning at what, 7:30? Oh, probably 8?
Yeah.
8 a.m. No lines, no nothing on this thing, and now this motor has everything on it. All bolted to it, all lines, all fittings, everything good to go. Show me your blisters.
Only a little one.
Yeah, that's from frickin' making lines all day.
A lot of lines.
Honestly, massive shout out to Logan. You guys have to give him some props because without people like him, there's no Lamborghini. I'm so stoked, bro. Thank you so much.
That's all right.
Logan's about to go out to dinner with a lovely lady, so he's leaving us.
Yep.
Let's go. But this thing, yeah, I'm so stoked. I'm going to continue working on this thing, so we're not ending the video there, even though I feel like going to bed right now. We're going to continue working on the car, and if you need any work done, Logan's Speed Shop.
Exactly.
Enjoy your date.
That's right.
So everyone has now left and I'm back on my lonesome, but I am just so happy. What an insane milestone. It still looks like an absolute mess, but it's a mess that works. It runs and now we can move on and start tidying the rest of this stuff up. Yes, we still have a huge journey ahead of us before this thing runs and drives. And even though I've been here for over 12 hours now, we're gonna kick on and continue.
So it's time to install the rear firewall, and we're using this rubber to seal the firewall and stop the steel from rattling around, as we don't have a bead roller. I had no idea just how much of a transformation this firewall would make to the build.
I've been avoiding that job for so long, but look at that. That is insane. I guess it's because I've never actually put a rear firewall in a car before because I've never had a car that needed one, which is so weird. But now we actually have a cabin, which is just amazing. I'm actually kind of speechless. Like, that looks so good, but you would not believe how much effort that took to get that done. Trying to get the shape right around the gearbox tunnel, trying to get the shape right around the back window, and then the sides here as well. Like, it's so freaking difficult because it curves in on the inside here, up. I'm actually ridiculously proud of that, and that might be one of my favorite parts of the car that we've done so far, weirdly enough. And now we can go ahead and finalize the rear of this car. So the back of the car is finally all painted in one color, and we can go ahead and fit the radiator and everything in the back, but while that's drying, we're gonna move on to the front. We've got a special guest here, Mr. Luke Fink.
I'm just flicking buttons and trying to work out what works and what doesn't, guys, because you got to put a bit of pressure on the boys. You know, I've been here. I know exactly what he's going through.
Dude, I don't need any more pressure on me right now. I think
I feel like it's pressure. It's encouraging, right?
Yeah.
These are encouraging words. I sat in it and I went, how are you going to see?
We can't. Next question.
It's really interesting because obviously none of you guys have seen it in person yet. Once you do see it in person and realise just the angle of a Lamborghini windscreen it's like flat.
Yep.
And obviously you guys have gone Perspex. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I can't see at the best of times. And I can't imagine what a Perspex window on this angle is going to look like. You're going to have to be sideways, possibly drifting around with your doors up.
Yeah.
I think it's come together. Obviously the livery looks sick. The wheels you put on it, on point. Like I said, the only thing I'm concerned about is your seating position looks terrifying. Like I don't think you'll be able to see a damn thing.
Honestly, I'm so lucky the boys are giving up their time to come and help me out, and I don't think we'd have a chance in hell of finishing this build without them. We installed the custom brake lines that GK Tech made us, which made the whole brake setup super easy to install, and getting the hydraulic handbrake installed is always an awesome step in any drift car build. Having the man Luke Fink himself to install it is even better. Once everyone had gone for the night, I installed everything into the back end of the car, and it felt so good to have everything finalized and ready to go. Lastly, we decided to upgrade our worn stock clutch with this upgraded heavy duty extreme clutch that we got from our friends at TI Performance.
Unfortunately, I've had to do a couple of things off camera, but basically our water lines, so these are the Dash 16 water lines, are all plumbed up to our rear mounted radiator. So let's pop this guy back here and look at this. Back here, she's looking all fancy. I do still need to mount the spout fan, but we have our electric water pump back there that is mounted. Looks like a little turbo. What's up? It's Mike from the future here. Somehow the outro for this video got corrupted, so I'm filming it right now here again. But that is the end of that video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next video, we take the car to the dyno, and I already know what happens, and I can tell you it is a spicy video. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you are enjoying the series. Honestly, you have no idea how much it helps. I was so stoked to see the last video do so well, so let's keep pushing this series. It is absolutely going to end with a bang. Hopefully not the engine. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Bye. The car starts and runs. Absolutely epic. Next video, we make power. Bye.